The summer of 2024 in Manchester was supposed to be filled with music, long evenings, and the city's usual energy. The streets buzzed with anticipation, as festivals and outdoor gatherings brought people together from every corner of the city. It was a time when Manchester's spirit of togetherness seemed unbreakable, and the city's diverse communities mingled freely under the warm sun. But in August, a tragedy in Southport was twisted online, unleashing a wave of anti-immigrant anger that quickly reached Manchester. Social media became a battleground, with misinformation and outrage spreading faster than the truth. Suddenly, the city's sense of safety and unity felt threatened, as online hostility spilled into real life. Piccadilly Gardens became the epicenter, with demonstrators and counter-protesters facing off, police forming barriers between them. Tensions ran high as chants echoed through the city centre, and the world watched Manchester grapple with division on its streets. The city felt divided, but that wasn't the whole story. Beneath the surface, there was a quieter, more powerful current running through Manchester, one of resilience and hope. Behind the headlines, Manchester's immigrant communities, people from Pakistan, Nigeria, Poland, Syria, and more, watched with dread as blame and suspicion grew. Families gathered around televisions and phones, worried about what the next day might bring, and wondering if their home would still feel like home. They refused to answer hate with hate. Instead, they leaned on each other, drawing strength from their shared experiences and the friendships they had built in Manchester. Instead, they chose unity, determined to show their true values and contributions to the city. They reached out to neighbors, organized community gatherings, and reminded everyone of the kindness that had always defined Manchester. Their response was peaceful demonstration and solidarity, not confrontation. They marched together, holding signs that called for understanding and compassion, refusing to let fear dictate their actions. They wanted to remind Manchester and the world that they are an integral part of the city's fabric. Their stories, dreams, and hard work had helped shape the city into what it is today. This was a story of courage and hope, not fear. In the face of adversity, they showed what it truly means to be part of a community. In the face of division, they chose to stand together. Their unity sent a powerful message that Manchester's heart could not be broken by hate. Their actions would soon redefine what it meant to be Mancunian, inspiring others to see strength in diversity and hope in unity. The unrest didn't start on the streets, it started online. A crime in Southport was twisted into a false narrative, blaming immigrants and stoking outrage. Influencers like Tommy Robinson and Andrew Tate amplified the lies, fueling anger and division. The misinformation spread rapidly, creating real fear in Manchester's immigrant communities. Families felt unsafe, businesses worried about attacks, and children were kept home from school. The digital firestorm quickly spilled into real life, fracturing trust and making people feel like outsiders in their own city. The speed and reach of the disinformation showed how fragile social cohesion can be. Algorithms rewarded outrage, trapping people in bubbles of anger. The battle for truth was now being fought as much online as on the streets. Many wondered how facts could compete with such a torrent of hate. The city was left reeling, searching for a way to push back. But social media wasn't just a weapon, it became a shield. Manchester's immigrant communities used WhatsApp, Facebook, and forums to share accurate information and support each other. Community leaders verified rumors, translated updates, and offered safe spaces. Instead of arguing with trolls, they flooded their networks with truth and reassurance. These digital spaces became lifelines, offering both practical help and emotional support. People offered to walk each other home, share taxis, and check in on neighbors. The message was clear: no one was alone. Online, they built a network of care that would soon move into the streets. The digital conversation soon led to real-world action, as people who had only met online began to connect in person. Ideas that started as hopeful messages in group chats quickly turned into plans for something bigger, something that could bring the city together. The plan was simple but powerful. A peaceful gathering at St. Peter's Square, a place that has long stood as a symbol of Manchester's unity and resilience. It was chosen not just for its central location, but for what it represented to everyone in the city. Organizers worked tirelessly, using Google Docs and messaging apps to coordinate every detail. They designed multilingual flyers so that everyone, no matter their background, could feel included. Word spread quickly, both online and through printed flyers handed out in neighborhoods. The event would be about peace, not confrontation, flowers, food, and positive messages instead of angry slogans. Volunteers prepared banners with uplifting words, and local bakeries donated food to share with everyone who attended. The call resonated across communities. Pakistani, Somali, Ukrainian, Polish, faith leaders, students, and longtime locals all joined in. People from every walk of life felt compelled to take part, eager to show that Manchester's strength lies in its diversity. On the day, hundreds gathered in St. Peter's Square, filling the space with a sense of hope and togetherness that was impossible to ignore. The atmosphere was calm and hopeful, with children playing, families mingling, and people sharing food. Laughter and conversation filled the air, creating a sense of community that felt both familiar and new. Placards read, "Mancunians together, diversity is our strength, and no place for hate." These messages were held high, a visual reminder of what the city stood for. It was a powerful, dignified response to the violence of days before, showing that the community would not be divided by fear or hatred. The event showed Manchester's true spirit, one of solidarity, hope, and unwavering support for one another. The city's diverse communities stood together, united in peace, determined to send a message that hate would not win. Their unity was a message stronger than any online hate, echoing through the city and beyond. This was Manchester at its best, a city that chooses compassion, togetherness, and peace, even in the face of adversity. In St. Peter's Square, the crowd's resilience was palpable. People from every walk of life came together, their voices rising above the noise of uncertainty. The square, usually bustling with daily life, became a symbol of unity and defiance in the face of adversity. Amina, a mother from Moss Side, said, "I needed my children to see that love is stronger than hate. This is our city too." She held her children's hands tightly, showing them that courage sometimes means simply showing up, even when it's hard. Jakub, a Polish software developer, found solidarity in a WhatsApp group. "It reminded me why I chose Manchester. We stand together." For Jakub, the digital world became a lifeline, connecting him to others who refused to be silenced by fear. Mr. Khan, a shopkeeper, handed out dates. "We've faced hard times before, but Manchester's heart is strong. Kindness is the answer." His small act of generosity rippled through the crowd, reminding everyone that compassion can be a powerful force for healing. These stories weren't about victims, but about people choosing hope over fear. In every embrace and every shared tear, there was a quiet determination to move forward together. Each person had felt the sting of online hate, but chose to step forward, not back. They refused to let anger or division define their city, choosing instead to be visible, to be counted, and to be heard. They brought flowers, food, and a belief in community. These simple offerings became powerful symbols of hope, shared among strangers who quickly became friends. Their presence was a quiet declaration, "You will not divide us." Linked arms and steady gazes sent a message that Manchester's spirit could not be broken. The gathering was a testament to ordinary people doing something extraordinary. In the face of fear, they chose to act with kindness and courage. It was about reclaiming safety, pride, and belonging. The city centre, once shadowed by uncertainty, was filled with hope and the promise of a better tomorrow. The city's spirit was on full display. Laughter, music, and the sound of voices joined in solidarity echoed through the streets. Manchester's strength came from its people, united in resilience. Every face in the crowd told a story of perseverance and hope. Their stories wove a tapestry of hope. Together, they created a living testament to the power of community. This was the real Manchester, a city that stands tall, united, and unbreakable, no matter what challenges it faces. The week revealed two Manchesters. In Piccadilly Gardens, violence and anger dominated. Protesters clashed, police intervened, and fear spread. The legacy was damage and division, with images of rage and destruction. But in St. Peter's Square, the mood was the opposite. The gathering was about unity, peace, and a shared future. People shared food and flowers, not anger. Police watched calmly. There was no threat. This was about building bridges, not burning them. The peaceful protest gave the city new images, smiling children, diverse families, and hope. It proved that the loudest voices of hate do not speak for everyone. By choosing peace, the community broke the cycle of violence. True strength was found in standing together for something better. As tensions rose, Manchester's leaders stepped up. Police Chief Stephen Watson condemned the violence and made clear that criminality wouldn't be tolerated. Faith leaders like Bishop John Arnold and Rabnawaz Akbar issued joint statements, emphasizing Manchester's tradition of welcome and unity. Their messages, shared in churches, mosques, and community centers, reminded everyone of their shared humanity. Political leaders focused on the city's values, not division, and praised the peaceful response. This visible leadership reassured residents and amplified the call for calm. The city's institutions stood with the community, isolating extremists. Manchester's leadership created a united front against hate. It was a powerful example of civic strength in action. When the protests ended, the real challenge began: rebuilding trust. Community leaders launched digital literacy workshops and school programs to fight misinformation. The goal was to build a resilient digital immune system for the city. The peaceful protest also forged new connections: Pakistani and Polish leaders, Ukrainian and Somali groups, all working together. These partnerships, born in crisis, became the foundation for a stronger, more united Manchester. The city reflected, learned, and grew. The experience showed that the same tools that divide can also unite. Local, trusted voices became more important than ever. Rebuilding trust meant investing in real relationships and shared values. Manchester chose to move forward together. Manchester's story in August 2024 isn't about riots, it's about resilience. The city faced division and chose unity, proving that diversity is its greatest strength. Immigrant communities stood up with dignity, reminding everyone that being Mancunian is about spirit, not birthplace. The peaceful response was a coalition of conscience: students, shopkeepers, faith leaders, and families old and new. Together they sent a message: hate will not win here. A year later, Manchester is stronger, proud of how it responded. The bonds forged in crisis have endured, and new networks continue to grow. The city has invested in tools to protect itself from future storms. Manchester's promise is to keep building bridges and hope. The peaceful protest was an act of building trust, unity, and a better future. In a divided world, Manchester stands as a beacon of what's possible. Here, love will always be louder than hate.